But you can see that the timeline is kind of finicky. The timeline's got some. It's a very, very tight timeline. Let me turn Fallout 4 back on. But, yeah. Fallout lore, everybody. Hetero's got this big thing about Sean is kidnapped by agents of the Institute. Talk about Dr. Sebastian. And so he's quoting the Fallout timeline. I mean, yes, that's probably the official Fallout timeline, but like I said, the numbers are a little tight. It really comes down to the fact that Sean is 60 years old and was kidnapped as a baby. That really messes with the timeline. And the fact that Kelogg had to have been around 10 years old in 2180, 2190. That gives us very little wiggle room to work with. But let's continue. See what else we can pick apart about the Institute.
He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
I'll comment on this. This one I really don't have much of a problem with. You have to keep in mind that Sean's concept of his father is from a baby. He's literally had no part of his life where he's ever been exposed to anything related to his father. He has no pictures, no holotapes, nothing. To him, his father is someone who existed, someone he should feel emotions for, but has never had any sort of reaction, any sort of connection to outside of the fact that he knows that it was his father. So his detachment and his kind of blasé attitude towards the father makes sense, because literally he has no connection to his father. Hell, he has no connection to his mother, because he was raised in the Institute. The only real connection he has is the fact that he knows he has a mother and a father, and he knows his mother is still alive, or if you're playing the male perspective, he knows his father is still alive. So, in a logical sense, if you know your parent is still alive in cryosleep, assuming, the entire synth theory we've been going over doesn't play out, which kind of makes sense too. Either way, it makes sense. If it's a synth recreation, then he's basically trying to recapture some part of his lost family that he never got to see growing up. If it's actually the real ones in cryosleep, then it's his chance to, save some part of his family that he never had any experience with. Because, he's never going to get along with his mother or his father. Because, they were frozen. They have a completely different concept of the world. He can try to bring them over to the Institute, but he knows it's not going to be easy. And, of course, he's dying. So it kind of makes sense that he's detached, because he has no connection to them outside of, the most baseline, I have a mother, she's alive, I should probably do something to help her not be in cryosleep for the next 3,000 years.
For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my
He's basically an
situation,
orphan.
and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, Director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position, obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Yeah, that's another interesting thing about Fallout, isn't it? Those damn Zetans they've been messing with humanity forever. I mean, as far as we know, this entire game can take place inside of a memory lounger inside of Mothership Zeta 2. But let's try and not involve aliens into the complexities of just trying to dissect the Institute, Kelogg, and our relationship with Sean. But actually, I'm glad I paused here because this is also another kind of important point. You'll notice that Sean has a sort of Sean's attitude towards you makes perfect sense. I know some people might disagree with it, but think about it. He has no experience with you, but he knows you're his mother. He wants your approval, or your father. He wants your approval, but at the same time, he's a grown adult. He doesn't need your approval. So, like, you know, he wants you to get to know the Institute. He wants you to like the Institute. But at the end of the day, he doesn't really care what you think of the Institute because he's already a grown adult. He's already has his own life, which is another reason why he makes the synth son. Because you are still thinking about Sean as your son. You want to raise him. You want to take care of him, which is why the synth Sean is made. It's a surrogate for his lost childhood. It's a surrogate for you, for the child you lost. But it's also a way for him to sort of just shove off to the side that sort of motherly instinct or fatherly instinct that says, I need to take care of you, you're doing the wrong thing. Because he's already an adult, he's already making his own decisions. He doesn't really need you to sort of control, to sort of raise him. But of course, this goes right back to a big issue, is that since the Institute raised him, his opinions on things are going to be vastly different from your opinions on things. So there's going to be a major clash between your ideologies. But he's already an adult, so he not really worried about approval from his parents. It'd be nice to have approval from his parents, but again, he doesn't much have a connection to his parents either.
Maybe. I don't know. This is so much to take in.
I know. And I am sorry. You have been through so much in such a short time. The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done.
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
I just don't know.
Just give it time. Give the Institute a chance. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, and Dr. Holdren in Bioscience. And finally, Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Map updated. Oh, the Institute has officially been added to my map. Does this mean I can fast travel to and from the Institute? Let me do a full save. Because I know later on you get the teleporter, which is actually different than fast travel. The teleporter and fast travel are two separate different things. The teleporter takes minutes to travel from location to location. Fast travel is supposed to simulate you basically, you know, autopiloting from one location to the next. And so it'll take you hours to get to locations. But can I actually fast travel out of the Institute? Fast travel is currently unavailable from this location. Alright, so until we get the Institute teleporter unlocked, we cannot fast travel. Fine.
Sean, about this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues to be solved, of course, but we've made remarkable progress.
Why build it to look like you?
We've advanced the technology behind synths to a point where this struck me as an interesting variation. A new angle, if you will. Modeling it after myself seemed only natural, what with the Institute's records and my genetics and physiology. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him like you would a real boy?
And this is getting back to just exactly what I was talking about. You know, we learn later on, you know, you can fast travel inside of the Institute once you get access to the Institute teleporter. But not just yet. Because they were smart enough to think, well, what happens if the player were to fast travel before they got the Institute teleporter? Would they be able to fast travel back? They accounted for that. Because you can also fast travel from within the railroad, which is also an interior location. So this is getting back to exactly what I was saying to. Sean is right here implying, you know, he made the child for you, as a surrogate for you. And also as a sort of surrogate for himself, because he can actually see his mother, which could be a synth, playing with a younger version of himself. So it's sort of just exactly what I was saying before. How it's all about surrogates and whatnot.
I don't need a synth. I found the real Sean.
Yes, but not the Sean you were looking for. In some ways, the synth is far closer to what you expected. I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but if in some small way the boy's presence can help, I hope you'll keep an open mind.
See, he is constantly pressing the point that you should love Synth Sean as your own son, not just because he's dying, but because he's trying to repair that sort of familial connection. And of course he's dying, so he knows that he won't be around long enough.
Sean?
Our advances will, in time, change the world.
Alright, no more conversation trees with him. Must loot everything! And continue to talk about any interesting situations I come across. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Can't activate that. Anything else around here worth talking about? For those of you watching this on BoobTube, which will probably be in like 14 different parts because I'm still limited to 15-minute videos, I apologize for any of the boredom you'll have to face.